That escalated quickly.
What is going on, guys? I am Chris Catalunya. Go ahead and check out my Instagram on the bottom left, Chris Catalunya with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video by the end of it, hit me up with a thumbs up. All right, into the shoe review. So as you saw previous to this, I was at Shakeback Sunday here at SneakerPolitics. So that was when they were releasing the off-white Nike Blazers, and then that was like 2 colorways. They were releasing the Nike Reacts in 3 different colorways, and they also released some John Elliott Air Force 1 shoes, and I think that's like a high and then a low. So I was able to collect a pair of the Total Orange Nike Reacts. My sister is getting either the Neptunes or the Solar Red. So I'm just here right now and I'm gonna pick up my pair of Total Oranges.
Quickly.
Alright, so I'm back at my apartment. I was able to collect on the Total Orange and the Thunder Blue, and I was also able to collect on the Neptune Green, and I think it was like Vibrant Mango or something like that. I don't know. Now, these Nike React Element 87s released today, October 11th of 2018, and there was actually 3 different colorways. The one that I don't have is gonna be that Solar Red Blue Chill one. In terms of retail, these were selling for about $160, at about $10 to $20 for taxes based on your location. Now, when I got on the sneakers app today, this one actually sold out first, and honestly, this is my favorite pair out of the whole bunch. I think the second one was gonna be that Solar Red Blue Chill one, and then this one came in 3rd place. In terms of resale, the Solar Red ones are doing the best right now. This one probably in 2nd place, this one probably in 3rd place, and they're all selling at about $200 even. They're not doing too well right now, which is kind of weird for Reacts. So as you're well aware, Nike has been going crazy with these releases of the React Element 87s. I feel like just last week we had the undercover ones, and then a couple of weeks before that we had something else. They just keep releasing too many of these 87 series, and not that they keep releasing them, but they also release them in like mass colorways, like 5 for the last one. I think this one came out in 3 different colorways. It's just too many styles too frequently. It's almost like how Adidas started with the NMD and started releasing them in limited quantities, and then realizing their popularity, they just went crazy and just started releasing so many different styles, and that kind of led to the death of the NMD. And if we want an example from Nike, probably the Nike Rao She Runs. Who's wearing Nike Rao She Runs anymore? And out of all the colorways, I definitely think that this one's my favorite, and because it has that blue and orange and represents my alma mater, UTSA, and out of the whole bunch, this one just looks the most vibrant. The other two, they kind of look similar. It seems like they just switched the accents in different places on those shoes. Alright, so let's actually start talking about these shoes. As you're well aware, React shoes had that translucent material. This is known as TPE, like a thermoplastic material. And what's cool about this TPE or thermoplastic material is that it's spun so finely into like a yarn. I'm doing quotation marks, but you can't see me because my fingers are behind my shoe. They're spun so finely that when they weave it together, it enables breathability for your feet while it's inside the shoe. Looking at the toe box on both of these shoes, you can see there's clearly a difference. This one, it's easier to see through. It's more of a clear material versus this. It's more grayed out, but you can still see the insole that's inside this shoe. You'll see these markings right here. This is a thicker solid plastic, which is not breathable, but it enables more structure for the shoe. It makes it keep its shape a little bit better, even though they both look kind of crumpled right now. Now on that solid plastic, you can see there is some stitching right here. This one actually matches the plastic. It is done up in orange, and then on this one, a dark gray or black. On the medial side of the toe boxes are some swishes. On this pair of shoes, you have the black swish, and this is actually sprayed onto the shoe. I think on the undercovers, they're embroidered, not on these. So you have the black swish on this pair. On this pair, it is gonna be like a light gray swoosh. Moving along on the lateral side of the shoe, the upper is still in TPE form. Now, the most prominent thing that you'll see right here is probably going to be this Nike swoosh right here. And much like on the toe box where that swoosh was sprayed on, this is sprayed on as well. On this shoe, it's going to be a black swoosh. On this, it's going to be a gray swoosh, which actually kind of mimics this gray on the midsole. Again, the TPE upper enables you to see through the shoe because it is translucent. You can actually see the inner lining on both of these shoes. Right here is done up in black, and right here is like a navy coloring, and there are actually holes in that inner lining for breathability purposes and definitely aesthetic purposes. So this part of the shoe is not going to be as breathable as the remainder of the shoe. Reaching towards the heel of these shoes, you will see material that looks like black electrical tape, and it reaches from the heel and it goes diagonal into the midsole of these shoes. And what's cool about this, aside from having that black electrical tape look, is that it's stitched in a zigzag form. Royal blue or thunder blue according to the box, and this side has that mango color going down. Now where the heel meets the midsole, you'll have this TPU cup right here. On this shoe, it's done up in like a dark gray. On this shoe, it almost looks like it's done up in a navy color, and it actually says Nike React right here. Now this cup is done up in TPU, and this enables stability for your foot while it's inside the shoe. And I'm kind of sad because that TPU cup is not all the way in the heel. Like, you can bend the heel and it collapses. So there isn't too much heel support on these shoes. While we still have our focus on the heel of this shoe, we have this suede-like material right here. This panel is done up in navy. On this shoe, it's done up in all black. And I believe these swooshes are done up in TPU plastic, where this is done up in orange and this in that Neptune green. And of course, above those swooshes, you have the matching stitching that is on the side, on the lateral and the medial side of the shoe. What I think to be the highlight of the back portion of the shoe is the heel tab. I know a lot of people don't like heel tabs on the shoe. I know some people that actually cut off their heel tabs when they buy shoes. I think it gives the shoe a lot more character when the heel tab is incorporated. So the heel tabs on the shoes are done up in their respective colors. You have the total orange with the silver 3M material, and you have the Neptune green with the silver 3M material. Cool stuff. The medial side of these shoes look pretty identical to the lateral side of the shoe, except for the absence of the Nike swoosh logo that is sprayed on. It's not here. But what is on the medial is felt like material, and is actually done up as lining on the inside. On this shoe, it's done up in blue. On this side, green. And what's also cool is that you have the lacing system that extends onto the medial of the shoe. And this is done up in black felt. On this shoe, you have the orange stripe, and it's stitched up in white. On this shoe, again, you have that black felt and the green striping that's going down and stitched up in black. The lacing systems on the React Element 87s are actually pretty cool. They look pretty dope, but especially on this cool because this has like a contrast in color, where this one, it looks kind of plain. It's not as cool as this. So towards the toe box area, you have this panel done up in blue leather. On this is done up in gray leather. On both pairs of shoes, you have black felt that runs all the way up to the top and have leather eyelets at the very top. So you have the royal blue leather panel right here and the gray panel that actually matches the panels down here. Now the edges of the eyelets are actually done in that black felt material. So how we were talking about the black felt material reaching on the medial side of the shoe, it actually reaches all the way up and then goes all the way down. Accompanied with this felt, you have some color stitch accent on this shoe. You have that silver or white stitching, and then right here you have that dark gray stitching. The actual eyelets on this shoe are actually of loop form, and they're done up in a nylon material and a black color. And on that nylon material is that 3M silver. The laces that feed through this lacing system are actually of a flat shape, and they seem to incorporate a line that goes down the middle of the lace. I'm not too sure why, but whatever, that's cool. And at the end of the oglets, it looks like there's a tree. On this particular pair is an orange tree, and then on the other side of the oglet, it's an orange swoosh logo. On this particular pair, this is done up in a navy colorway. You have a royal blue swoosh and a royal blue tree. Moving on to the tongue, much like the rest of the upper, is done in that TPE material, so it is breathable, which is super awesome. And at the top of the bridge, you see this felt-like material, which is a lace lock for those laces that you feed through. At the top of the tongue is the Nike React logo. On this pair is done in that mango color, and this is actually kind of weird. I've never owned a pair of React Element 87s, but I don't know how I feel about the shape of this tongue. It's just really weird to me, but it looks cool. So again, you have that Nike React logo right here, which is done in that mango color, and the Nike pinwheel right here. Now the backing or the lining of this tongue, it feels like a felt material mixed in with plastic. I'm not too sure what that actually is, but let's actually talk about the lining of this shoe. So you know how we were talking about how you could see to the inside lining. So the lining is done up in that felt material. And looking at the inside of the shoe, you can see that the walls of the shoe, they're pretty thin. They're almost paper thin. So the lining actually incorporates some padding towards the heel area. So like right here. Whether that'll actually provide any comfort, probably not. It's probably more of an aesthetic thing. I don't think there's enough padding inside. Removing the insoles from the shoes, this is what it looked like. And I'm really a big fan of these insoles because of aesthetic reasons. They look freaking dope. But let's be honest, they don't provide any cushioning or any support. So it has that cork-like design, and it has the respective colors where you have the Nike swoosh done in that Neptune green, and then that total orange on this pair. And what's also cool is that you have the Nike sizing tag right here. It's like stitched onto the bottom of the insole. The bottom of these insoles are done up in foam, and they're hella thin, guys. All right, guys, let's talk about the midsole. Better yet, let's talk about both the midsole and the outsole, because they're pretty much the same thing on the shoe. Now, this shoe is done up in that Nike React material. As you are well aware, this is definitely a competitor to Adidas's Boost system. Now, in stating that, this shoe is supposed to have a lot more give when your foot impacts on the ground. It's supposed to feel a lot more comfortable. It's supposed to feel like walking on the clouds. In typical Nike React fashion, you have these canyons that run throughout the midsole of the shoe. And accompanying that crazy design, you have these rubber marks right here that are strategically placed on the midsole and the outsole of the shoe, because these are the areas that have the most impact. So it only makes more sense to reinforce these areas with rubber. Not only did they reinforce the Nike foam or the React material with rubber plates, but these rubber plates actually have places where they protrude out from the rubber to enable more traction while you're running in this shoe. Now let's talk about comfort. These shoes, they're pretty comfortable, but in comparing them to Boost like NMDs or Ultra Boost, they're definitely not that comfortable. I definitely feel like I'm walking on clouds when I'm wearing an Ultra Boost. Not the case with this. This cushioning material, or the Nike React, seems a bit more firm than Adidas's Boost system. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because these shoes actually seem to be more of a running shoe than the Boost lineup. Not that I would actually use this to go running, and this is definitely a casual shoe. I'm not too sure how this material would hold up when you run, but this definitely feels more of a running shoe. In terms of fitment, I usually rock a size 8.5 or 9. With these shoes, I actually had to go with a 9 because TPE material, this upper, is not stretchable by any means. It is a pretty snug fit when you put your foot inside. And Actually, at the toe box, it only leaves about half a centimeter to a centimeter from the top of my toe to the top of the shoe. So what are the pros to wearing the Nike React Element 87 shoes? Well, they are super lightweight. They're definitely not heavy like the NMDs or the Ultra Boost. They're really light, guys. These shoes are super fashionable, and that's saying a lot coming from the running shoe genre. With that TPE material and that being translucent, you have to be more conscious of what kind of socks you're wearing. You definitely have to up your sock game. Just by wearing black socks or wearing white socks or wearing like super colorful socks, you can definitely change the look of this shoe. And of course, with that TPE yarn, the shoe is super breathable. Honestly, this is probably one of the most breathable shoes I've ever worn, outside of like sandals. Again, the cons of these shoes, being that it is TPE material, it is not stretchable by any means. When you put your foot inside, that's pretty much all the give you're going to get. You can't really stretch this shoe out. So definitely get a full size, maybe even a half size up in your current size. And the next con would be the fact that, you remember how I said that these were paper thin? Well, these are actually pretty sharp too, and especially if you do a lot of walking or perhaps running in this shoe. I've heard a lot of stories where this will cut you at the heel and this will cut you at the front of your neck of the foot. What is that called? So definitely, if you're gonna wear the shoe, wear longer socks for the first couple of wears, and then after that you could probably go down to no-shows or ankle-high socks. Alright guys, I think that's pretty much it for my review of the Nike React Element 87s. These are pretty cool shoes. I really wish I had the very first release of the Element 87s. It's okay, maybe in resale. To recap, I really think that this is the best colorway out of the 3 that were released today. It's a comfortable shoe. It's not as comfortable as Boost material, but that's fine. The shoe definitely looks cool. What do you think about these shoes? What do you think about resale and how this is not doing too well right now? Are Reacts overplayed already? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit me up with a thumbs up if you truly enjoyed this video, because I'm just trying to bring you better content. Alright guys, I am Chris Catalunya, and we will check you later. See you now.